I mean, is there like truth to your speed of talking and your character on Stranger Things?
I don't know. You've talked to me for a little while now. Do you think there's truth?
I mean, apparently you can get through crazy amounts of dialogue really quickly. And
I can do that.
For the sake of transparency, I have not watched all of Stranger Things.
That's fine.
And I bailed before your season. I'm just, again, this is a space of
I like
honesty.
it. Doesn't hurt my feelings at all.
Yeah, there's enough people watching. Like,
Yeah,
they don't
there's plenty of
fucking
people
need
watching.
me.
They don't need you.
They're good.
Yeah.
I'm watching other things on Netflix.
No, Robin does some fast talking. I mean, I'm a fast talker, I think, generally.
Yeah, but it's very clear.
It's very clear. Thank you.
But it's not like a Trisha Paytas speed talk. It gives anxiety.
Well, I think that's partly why I got that part. I think that the Robin kind of like, I don't know, I just thought that we could go do this and then we could do that and then and like I think that's kind of what got me the part of anxiety.
Can you what is that process like?
The process of working on Stranger Things, of working on Inside Out, or talking fast?
I mean, okay, let's start with all three. But let's start with anxiety because that's a huge call to get. And you have to audition, right?
Yeah, I did an audition. But I think a huge part of it was the Robin of it all. But I did an audition and I cried in my audition because just being explained the plot of the movie made me weep.
Oh.
And then I read for the character. But I in my own life, I have this, and I've said this a ton recently in this press I've done for Inside Out. But in my own life, I created this character to voice my own anxiety, so that let's say we've got to go to the airport. And I understand that we're going to be on time. I understand that we're going to be early, even if we leave in half an hour. But actually, I am going to be really nervous throughout the whole drive and going through the airport. And I'll be so much more relaxed if we just leave right now. And then we can go right now. And then I'll feel better. And I know that I'm being crazy, but then maybe you just want me to feel better because then I'll be less crazy. And then you'll feel better because I won't be crazy. You know, I kind of came up with this little voice as a way to talk about my anxiety to my friends so that they understood that I knew I was being irrational, but that this is how they could help me, you know, and meet my irrationality a little bit so that we could all have a better time.
My boyfriend does this.
Really?
Yeah. When's your birthday?
July 8th.
Interesting.
When is your boyfriend's birthday?
He's a Pisces, so not the same.
Never mind.
But that's a really beautiful sense of awareness, right? And also care for those that you love and want to love you.
Thank you. Well, it's just kind of a funny little joke, but I then kind of got this audition and I was like, oh, that's anxiety. Like this character that I'd created in my own, that was the first time I was like, oh, I think I have a shot of getting this part because this character that I created to help me take care of myself could help me take care of Riley as anxiety.
Use that character to communicate with those around you?
In my life?
Yeah.
Mostly like my near and dear. I mean, people I'd go to the airport with.
Yeah, of course.
You know.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And by the way, like one of the coolest things a human being can do is take on the responsibility of being any Disney Pixar character. It really is. Like, has that set in at all?
It's a pretty big deal. I mean, it's where dreams come true, you know? It's really, especially in a movie like this, you know? This movie, I believe, is something really good to put into the world, you know? And it's rare to get to put anything good into the world, you know? Even good movies sometimes aren't good things to put into the world. But this is, you know, like this is positive and it helps people. I call it priming you for empathy. I think the Inside Out movies prime you for empathy and they get you ready to look at you and know that you have all these guys going on in your head too. And like, we're the same, you know, like, oh, you're as complicated and strange and stressed and loving a person as I think I am. And any movie that can make you look at people that way and remember their humanity and remember their pain and make you laugh and is safe for kids and is fun for the whole family. I mean, it's just like, it's a special, rare rainbow thing.
It will play such a pivotal role in so many lives.
I know.
Like, the introduction of even just on the baseline of like the introduction of the feeling of anxiety and what that is to somebody, like that is crazy.
I know.
You are that voice.
I know. And especially in this time period, you know, I mean, I like that Amy Poehler says this. She says, Pixar is not gaslighting us. You you know, by bringing in a character like anxiety. It's been 10 years since the last Inside Out movie, and it's been a really brutal 10 years. And kids are stressed. You know, they're stressed. And I'm so honored to get to play this character who helps to depict what their stress looks like. You know, even there's an amazing scene in the movie, spoilers, okay, but it's not really a plot spoiler, but it's a spoiler, where anxiety hacks into Riley's imagination and gets this like magical place that used to be full of lollipops and candy canes and pillow forts and turns it into a factory for creating worst case scenarios. And I don't know, it really moves me. And I think it's still Disney. It's not like it goes into like, I've been talking about this a lot. Like they asked me if I relate to Riley. And Riley is my dream kid and the dream kid I wish I was. You know, she's like, is having a lot of pain and a lot of stress, but it's within the realm of like a healthy human having stress. And I was so much more delinquent and depressed as a teenager. But I think that I still relate to Riley because they give you the tools of all these emotions, and you can imagine what the salt shaker combo is in your mind, you know? Or you can look at Riley's salt shaker combo, you know, the spices that are going into her soup, and be like, oh, wow, yeah, they put way too much paprika in mine, you know? So, yeah, I think it'll be good.